Hello and welcome to Paper 2. This is the Paper 2 support video for the overall understanding of how you structure the questions and how we apply knowledge to the course. First of all, timings. Now this paper, the beauty of this paper is that it's all based on sources. All those sources will give you information that will help you answer the question. Remember, the question is going to be based upon public health from 1800 to 1914. And the suggested timings are based on the 2015 past paper from OCR. Out of an hour and a half, what I suggest is that you use 5 minutes at the start to analyse the sources, read through them, understand them. What you want to do is you want to underline key phrases, circle dates, and work out what's going on, and just really get your head around the sources first. Personally, that's what I do. I would also suggest that you try and leave 5 minutes at the end to go through a final reread. So that takes 10 minutes away. So then question 1, which is the 8 marks, suggests something on the lines of 10 minutes. Question 2 from the 2015 was also 8 marks. And then question 3 and 4 were both 9 marks. And the last one is your 16 marks plus 3 marks spag. So we go 30 minutes possibly for that one. Again, it's up to you. You could base it however you want to. You could do a little bit more, a little bit less, but if you kind of stick to those rough timings, then you've got enough time to get through that entire paper, which is important. Next, key knowledge. This little set of pictures here gives you an idea of some, not all of the information that you could bring up during this exam. The first one here is Edwin Chadwick. Chadwick is the chap that was involved in the Public Health Report of 1842, and he suggested 3 things about public health that include things like improving sewer systems, appointing health ministers. Next up, you have the 1848 Public Health Act. Here, this act was designed to start to make local government responsible for public health based on what Chadwick had reported upon. However, the great thing was that it was not compulsory. Therefore, it would wait for a second Public Health Act in 1875 for those measures to really be enforced, because laissez-faire, that government attitude that you should step back and do nothing, was in place, and it would take time for things to change, but things were starting to change. Next up here we have John Snow. John Snow was the chap who, if you remember from your lessons, took the Broad Street pump handle off the water pump in Broad Street, and the cases of cholera death started to be reduced. His experiment and his research paved the way of linking cholera to it being in the water. 1858, you have the Great Stink, and that's what we have there. This is the sewer system that Joseph Bazalgette built in London. Then we have germ theory of 1861. Louis Pasteur, once he discovered germ theory, we were able to understand what was causing illness, and therefore that's going to be part of our understanding of why public health either was or wasn't changed. The 1875 Public Health Act, we can see the situation of the housing and conditions and so on. And then between 1906 and 1914, we have the Liberal Reforms. And the Liberal Reforms were really the kind of key government interventions that kick-started helping all people, whether rich or poor, to get on their feet and to get better. And then in the 1880s, 1890s, we start to have slum clearances taking part in cities where they start to improve conditions. It's just some, not all the facts, but again, you could use this video to help you revise. Finally, these are the questions that we will look at in the course of the rest of the videos. This again is from the 2015 paper, and you can see here all of them refer to sources singularly, apart from question 3, which asks you to study sources C and D. So this is what I call a combo source question, and the idea here is that you actually combine the sources, so talk about them together. Anyway, later videos, so the next 4 videos, will talk about how these questions are done. The only question I won't be covering is why was this source published in 1911. That's because this question we've already covered really with the paper 1. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.